We should be seeing the Twinkle Twinkle in the Castle. Welcome back, Fantasy Fair people. I'm Alexis again, filling in for Mr. Lira, who's been called to action, it seems like. I'm joined by the other Alexis, of course, the mainstay here of this podcast, the lovely Miss Moreno. How are you doing today?
I'm good today. It's all right.
Good. That's good. It's been a pretty bad day in the world, but, just a reminder, this podcast is brought to you by coronavirus. And we actually have an audio commentary for Monsters University by Disney and Pixar. This may seem random. We just did an audio commentary on The Little Mermaid, Moreno and I. And we're just kind of like going with the flow, it seems like, in terms of what movies we want to do. And I just thought it'd be nice to talk about this, to do this movie because, for some strange reason, it keeps coming up on all of the podcasts that we've been recording lately. So, and Moreno has talked about how much the movie means to her. It clearly is one of her favorite Pixar movies. So, I think the first controversial bomb of this audio commentary is that she and I agree that we prefer this to the original Monsters, Inc., which I think seems blasphemous to say out loud, even though it's been said several times at this point. I like this movie quite a bit.
I do too.
I'll just go ahead and say it off right now. And as I'll keep saying throughout the movie, I just happen to prefer Mike Wazowski as a character. I like him better as a character than Sully. I like Sully a lot, mind you, but I really love the story they gave him in this movie.
Yeah. I think it's more, I don't know, because I feel like, not that I love, like, Monsters, Inc. and stuff, but, like, it's, like, it's hard to relate to Sully in Monsters, Inc., whereas Mike, you're kind of like, yeah, like, he's frustrated for a reason the entire movie, and he's just trying to help his friend, but his friend kind of keeps, like, doing worse things as he goes, like, in their world. I don't know, maybe I'm just kind of, like, because I'm very, like, the type of person to, like, think before I do. And so if I was in that situation, it would stress me out.
Yeah. I know that this film movie came out in 2013. And, it's really interesting because I hadn't revisited this movie since, maybe 2014. But in 2013, which, as we mentioned before, that was the year that you and I graduated from high school. And at least for me anyway, this movie came out I think I saw this movie for the first time in theaters right the day before I actually started college. Although I don't know if this kind of gave me like a false idea of what it is. Again, I began in community college, so it really wasn't at all
what it
like
is.
This is. But it was funny how this came along at the time that I was going to begin college. And I hadn't watched it for so many years. Eventually I transferred over to a 4-year university. And then I saw this, I think a few days ago, in preparation for our Pixar Ranked podcast, which should be up already on the feed by the time this is dropped. And what was really, I think, surprising to me is how much it connected more because at this point I had gone through the whole, like, the real college experience. Like, all of the things that happened in this movie I'd either been around or been a part of when I went to college. And they did not over exaggerate a lot of the, I guess you could say, cliches especially the damn personalities, and especially on that damn orientation day. Yeah, like, and it's also, I feel, this is a journey that many people are going to go through. You know, I feel like the overall message of this movie is not something that is quite common, at least with Pixar films.
Well, I think in
general,
I can't really think of another movie where it tells what this movie is trying to tell you in this way. Especially like I love that it's a college movie and it's saying this message because this is the time when people are trying to figure out what to do and like trying to figure out their own path in some way.
Yeah, and it's an interesting dichotomy because what ultimately happens is Mike Wazowski has this dream, as many people have this dream, and he overly plans for it, and he has every little detail meticulously planned out, and he's going to get, you know, the best scores in all the tests and study harder than anybody else. But what happens in the movie ultimately is that he's, no matter how hard he tries, he just can't be what he wants to be or what he thinks that he needs to be because of what his dream is. And that is kind of really what every college student goes through in the sense that, and I tell this to everybody that I know.
Ooh, can I just talk about the score really quick? Because I love the score.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Randy Newman always does a good job. Yeah. And I'm sure we'll mention it throughout. This particular opening is, I think, to me, quite memorable. But this whole notion of having college planned out is just stupid because, I can speak from personal experience as well as anybody that's been to college, it never works out like that. That's why I've always thought of this whole idea of planning out your life to me has always just been a stupid idea because it never works out that way. That's just not how life works. As Mike here finds out the hard way. And my God, I don't know what it is. I love Billy Crystal even more in this movie as Mike Wazowski. And I love this moment right here. This whole overly dramatic goodbye. Mike and the people on the bus.
Strangers.
And this lady was like, I'm welling up with tears. That's exactly what I would say. Get the fuck off and get out of here. Yeah.
This would be me.
And
this would be something I would do.
Yeah. And I want you to look at this. This sequence right here, they capture it so well. This is how at least how I felt anyway, when you first walk on campus on your very first day. I think it's hilarious how you always come across people who act or appear to know what's going on, but and you even see some of those faces are here in this shot, but nobody knows what the fuck they're doing. And I think people need to be more aware of how a lot of people are just kind of faking it there. And again, they get really creative.
Yeah, they do.
With the designs of the monsters, and then also just thinking out how a university would work with the different kind of monsters in this world.
I wish I was in the meeting to come up with all of the cliche college things, because I'm sure people would just be like, oh, this happened to me, or this happened to me. I feel like it would have been really fun. I just think this movie was
voices.
Yeah,
I agree. The voices that they got for that tour guide and for all of those orientation students, hey, I'm K or I'm J, that particular tone, you have no idea how accurate that is. That that kind of tone that kind of aggravates people. This is hilarious right here. Talk about an easy fucking job. Imagine if it was that easy.
I know. I love him.
I know, right?
Like, just
He's
how,
just a
like,
punky little eyeball.
excited. Yeah. Like, how excited
Yeah.
and, like, happy
Yeah.
he is. And, like, he just has this feeling of, like, I finally made it type of thing. Ugh.
Yeah. Yeah, he has a line coming up when he gets settled into his dorm.
This is Kyle.
Yeah.
What line?
There's another. There's a line that he says in the dorm room. I think Randall says to him, "Boy, Mike, you're sure pretty ambitious. I wish I had that kind of confidence." And then Mike's like, "I've been waiting for this my whole life." And then he looks out the window, and I just can't wait to get started. I love that. I love the enthusiasm behind that. No, it's not. It's not his lifelong best friend. The glasses.
Oh, no.
Do you have that hat, by the way? The MU hat?
I don't. Okay, here's the reason. So
what? You are a self-described merch person. You have a Disney card. I mean, like, how do you not have that?
Okay, so there's this thing. For those of you who go to Disneyland quite often,
as she does. She makes a quarterly appearance.
This is gonna sound very, like, teenager, but there's, like, certain types of people that go to the parks. Let's talk about girls. They're the ones that wear the red and black mini ears, a flannel shirt, some pair of shorts, and then Converse. And they're just, like, the noisy park goers that also tend to wear, if they're not wearing their red and black mini ears, they're also wearing the MU hat. And so that's my reason for not getting it. But also because I want the Uzma Kappa hat that nobody gets.
Do they have? I haven't seen an Uzma Kappa hat.
They have it. But I have my Monsters University Spirit jersey, and I have a Monsters University mug.
I mean, those are great.
Yes,
no
much prefer.
Right.
Plus, I don't really wear hats, so I would much prefer my Spirit jersey. They do have an Uzma Kappa Spirit jersey, which I really, really want, though.
It's just that the cap is like
that's
the like item of the movie, you know. I mean, like, so you're saying, like, any chance that you thought about getting it, it wasn't available?
The hat?
Yeah.
No, it's always there. But the Uzma Kappa hat, I've seen recently. That one wasn't out yet until recently.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the one that I want. I wish they did Sully's sweater. The Uzma Kappa sweater. I want that one.
Oh, okay.
She's scary. Who does the voice for her?
Dame Helen Mirren.
Oh, okay.
I mean, she's supposed to be scary. I mean, that's monsters. I mean, she's supposed to look that way. And yeah, she's pretty mean. So, yeah. And this is harsh. But as we're finding out with coronavirus, life can be so cruel. Sometimes, can it? This aspect of university lifestyle is actually very true for a lot of people, depending on your major, right?
Mm-hmm. Well,
I know.
I shouldn't say or agree because I don't know.
Well, I mean, I'm sure you've known people who've gone through experiences like that. Like I know, like people those of us who did go, there have been people who wanted to be a part of this major and they went to this program, and at the end of the semester, if they don't do well on the exam, they're gone. I mean, not kicked out, but like not kicked out of the school, but kicked out of the program.
Yeah.
And here's John Goodman, who's always great. Mr. What do you make of this aspect here of because we talk a lot about Mike and what he goes through, but they also do something here with Sully that again wasn't clearly because like this movie was not even an idea when Monsters Inc. came out, but the idea of making like Sully part of like a lineage of like renowned scarers, and then having him ultimately not live up to that. What did you make of that story in this case?
I like that. I still think Mike is the more relatable character, but I do like that they give Sully like a redemption story, kind of.
Well, because Sully's kind of an ass.
Yeah.
Throughout most of this movie, that's the thing,
But I like it. It kind of makes sense to where he ends up in Monsters Inc., where he's like more down to earth, and like why he's willing to help Boo get back and everything, and why he's so like sensitive about it. Yeah.
Look, I just realized this, and this may be a big reason why I do like this this movie. I've made no secret about my displeasure for most prequels, and I think people would think that I mean the Star Wars prequels, and I think just prequels in general get on my nerves, because especially the kind of prequels that stupidly contradict things that happen in their future movies. I mean, in the movies that came before, if you're doing a prequel, right? So we talked about, I don't know if you heard this part, but recently we were talking about on Red Spotlight the recent trailer. Well, I don't know when this movie will ever come out, but Black Widow, that her whole story in that spinoff, prequel movie, because it takes place before Endgame, is her, I guess, first family, which in Endgame, the impression was that her first and only family was the Avengers.
Yeah. So, I saw the messages. I don't
it creates contradictions.
Yeah.
But this one doesn't. And I think this may be one of the best prequels I've seen.
It is the best.
Are we having a delay, by the way?
The pig just grabbed the hat.
Okay. I mean, a delay in like you hearing me.
Oh, no.
Okay, then we're good. We're good. I think you're just getting lost in the movie then. Because I mean, that's kind of what happens during these. Yeah, and then I know that. Oh, this right here. I love this part because, oh God, you've no idea the deep-seated hatred I have in my heart. There's the Pizza Planet truck. The deep-seated hatred I have in my heart for Kyle's guitar. Ever since I've known him. And that sequence of basically a Kyle singing with that guitar annoyingly as ever, and it being smashed was so cathartic. And it still remains to this day. And I'm being genuine here, so if he listens to this, he'll know what I'm talking about. But it's funny.
Was he one of the people that would take it to school? Because I know there was a couple people that would take their guitar to school.
Do you not remember?
No.
I know we didn't hang out back then, but like I was pretty sure that Kyle was infamous for that. And I mean infamous because every fucking day he'd bring that damn thing. And of course he'd play it, and of course he'd sing it. Unprompted usually, but always did so. Oh, and
Sorry.
The movie. These guys right here. What's their fraternity name? Roar?
Roar Omega Roar.
Roar Omega Roar. Okay. It's subtle, but I love how they get that arrogant white supremacy touch to them. As a lot of, fraternities like that are known for throughout the campus. I mean, not the campus, but throughout the country. In modern era fraternities. I don't mean all of them. I just mean the kind. And it's subtle, but it's there in that one, because that's like the big bad fraternity that like belittles everybody around them in this whole issue with. And yeah, I never really, to me, it never made any kind of sense, again, for me, to like join a fraternity, which if you don't know, you have to like pay for additional housing or membership or whatever and all those dues. It never really caught my interest, and I would just avoid that kind of crowd. I mean, that's just me.
Yeah.
I don't know your thoughts on that. I know you never were like on campus, but did you ever think about like a sorority or whatever?
No, I know people that were part of a sorority. Again, I didn't go to college, so like my only college experience was, well, besides that, like I would go visit people. Like I went to Chico. Yeah, I would visit you. I went to Chico to visit my cousin a few times. I went
Chico
to
State all the way up there.
Yeah, oh my God, that's like beautiful campus.
Wow.
And then I went to GCU to visit my best friend a couple times. Like I even went to like her orientation and stuff, so like I got to see that. And my cousin, the one that went to Chico, she was in a sorority, and I think one of the weekends that I went, either she had just started or she was like about to start. I don't remember, but I got to like meet a few people from there. I don't know. I mean, we're like very different. She's very like social and outgoing and stuff, and I'm like complete opposite of that. So it was kind of weird. But initially she liked it, but then it kind of turned sour at one point. But she did do the whole like she stayed on their housing or whatever, and then I know other people who did. Like I kind of got to see both side of things, like somebody who didn't like it, and then somebody who enjoyed it, and then somebody who was like in the middle. But like if I would have gone to school, I wouldn't have done that.
It's just not for you.
No.
And I mean that's just reality. It's like some people are their whole thing. This whole sequence, by the way, I loved. And I love how you brought up Randy Newman's score. It's really good.
I love it.
And I'm just bringing up moments that it keeps coming back up here. And I don't know what this professor here, does he remind you of Randy Newman to you?
Yeah.
Was that intentional?
I don't know.
It feels like it's Randy Newman. I love this right here. I have a gif of this one. This right here, this monster with like, oh my God, I just realized he has a mug, and he has like 3 different like cups of coffee and he's that's not an exaggeration. It's not an exaggeration. Not just, me being a college student, but I worked at the Starbucks on campus. And I mean, this, you get to a point where, especially if you do morning shifts, or honestly any kind of shift, from like sun up to sundown on a coffee shop on campus, like you will recognize the faces because they come in every fucking day. Sometimes multiple times a day. I mean, it's great clientele. I mean, it's very regular clientele, but it's incredible. Because it was UC San Diego, I believe, is one of the bigger campuses of the UC schools. I mean, anyway, it's a big campus. And our you've been at the coffee shop there, right? Starbucks. Did I take you one time, or have I never walked you down there where it was located at in the center, the University Center of San Diego?
I don't remember. I don't think so, though. I think we just stayed kind of where you...
right, where I lived.
Yeah.
But I never took you to the university. Okay. Yeah, we got swamped. Like, you getting swamped is like you have a line out the door.
Oh my god.
And that's pretty constant. But it's good because you have a lot of employees. So it's like you're not...
Okay.
I don't think there's never really a time where you're shorthanded. Like, we're so like... Well, this was back then, right? But at that point, we were so stocked up where I wouldn't have to... There would be a shift where my only thing what I would have to do was just heat up food.
Dang.
So that's how good we had it.
Yeah.
In terms of like hands on deck.
That's so stressful. Like I used to work at a bakery.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
But all I did was, cause it was like they did like teas also with like boba and stuff. So all I would do was
boba shit. That thing is like, oh god.
I don't like it made
I don't care for it, but like that's
or,
a very popular item, right?
Yeah, that's all I would do. I would do boba or like the creamer for the coffee that they would use, or be on the register. Like that's all I ever did. I was only there for a little bit. And what's it called? I would get so stressed out. Like, they tried to teach me how to do the drinks, but I just, like, it was hard. Like, also, I didn't really get a lot of time to, like, learn how to make them. But
you never do.
Whatever I did, I was like, what? I don't know. This is... And then I used to work at SeaWorld, too, and they had a Starbucks station, and I worked there, like, maybe 2 times. And those 2 times, they had to, like, reteach me how to do the drinks. Because it was, like, 2 separate times. Like, it was, like...
Right.
2 months apart or something. But no, I was so stressed out. So I don't know.
No, I mean, I know what that's like. I mean, I've been in many stressful... I mean, I've worked on Capitol Hill. I've worked for a congressman. Working at Starbucks was much more stressful than working for a congressman. I'll just tell you that. So that, I mean, that shit's no joke, especially when you got to make drinks while you're trying to learn how to make them.
Yeah.
What's in them, and then it's like a line out the door.
Yeah, no.
Nothing like it. This right here. God. You really felt really, I mean, Sully deserved it for being an ass, but like Mike was just so unlucky being caught up in this. I don't know, like, do you get the idea that if Mike was allowed to go up on the machine, he would have done much better than what happened right here? Like, she didn't even give him a chance, huh?
Yeah, no. That's the thing. Like, you never really get to see what he can do.
Yeah, huh?
And
either times.
Yeah, either time. But at the same time, you do. It's just, it's never put to the test. Or he's never put to the test. So I don't know. Like, I don't know if I think what the movie is trying to tell you is, like, he's not good enough. And so I believe that he wouldn't have done it. Which is, like, just sad. But
yeah,
I feel like if he would have done it and they would have shown it either time, I feel like the story wouldn't have made sense.
You're right. I think are we led to believe this was like a holiday break? Because there's like an intermission here. They come back.
Well, yeah, because they say at the end of the semester is the test, and then he has it on the calendar.
Yes, I've had a professor like this. I mean, I feel like a lot of us have. And I felt bad, because, well, I don't necessarily blame him. Like he didn't sound boring. He just had, he didn't sound like he was bored in what he was talking about. It's just that the way that he talked was like, it put you in a lull. I love this little musical beat right here. So sad.
I want that rug.
He'd put you in a lull, and it didn't help that the topic he was discussing was just unbelievably boring to me, and that was anything involving China. It just puts me to sleep. I stopped. We were on a quarter system, so we have like 10 weeks for a regular semester. Mm-hmm. I stopped showing up to class after week 4. Want to guess what my grade was?
An A.
Yeah, B+.
Wow, not same. I want that Letterman jacket too.
Yeah, I thought you were talking about the MU Letterman jacket. Like they don't have any of those?
Mm-mm. At least now they don't. I don't know. Because I didn't see this movie when it came out. I saw it like maybe 3 years later.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. What happened? I thought you would have gone to be one of the first people to go see this.
I don't know. I don't know why I didn't go see it.
Did you hear like bad things about it, or you just missed it?
No, I just missed it.
3 years later, that would have been 2016. That's crazy. Oh my god, Crystal is so great. Uzma Kappa. I know it's intentional. I love that their damn initials are okay.
I love it too. I love it so much.
Yeah.
I was telling David, because the Pixar list is gonna go up before this, right?
Yes.
So I was telling him how Kyle was comparing this one to Ratatouille, that he said that Ratatouille did it better, and like as I was explaining to David, I was like, it's not that though, like that's not what the movie is saying. And David's like, yeah, that's not what the movie is saying. And like I just start yelling out, we're okay.
Oh my god. Also, if you don't, I'm sure you are, Moreno, but Dave Foley, who is the voice of Flick from A Bug's Life, is actually the voice of one of those monsters, the one with the 2 heads.
Yeah, I saw. Were you the one that said it, or did I read it somewhere?
It might have been me. It might have been me. I don't know. I've said it before. I don't know if I've... Yeah.
Princess Ada, too. She comes out in this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
The star player. Fucking okay.
Oh, can I just say I love the mom. Squishy's mom.
She's hilarious.
Oh my god. And I love this guy. Oh, my heart.
For Dawn?
Yeah. Look at the clock. Did you see it?
What was with the clock?
The little like back and forth one. It was like a horn type of thing.
Huh. Yeah, that's the thing about any Pixar movie in general. It's like a lot of the times when you're paying attention to the story and the characters, you don't really notice the stuff in the back, in the background, you know? And there's a lot of stuff that's there that you don't notice.
Yeah.
Like, one of the ones... What was it? One of the ones that has, like, supposedly the most Easter eggs is the Second Chance Antique Store in Toy Story 4.
Oh, yeah.
there's a lot of stuff in there. Like, I've seen it like 3 or 4 times, and I still haven't seen anywhere near everything.
I know, yeah.
They have like Easter eggs from every Pixar movie.
The one I'm excited to see is Onward.
Oh, the Easter eggs in there?
Yeah. I didn't see any. I've only seen it once, and I didn't find, like,
You haven't gone back and seen it again?
Well, no, because I went with my mom, and then I was supposed to go with David, but he went by himself. Because I had to keep working. And so I haven't gone, or didn't go.
Yeah, because it's gone. Yeah. You're not going to get a chance to go back and see. I mean, we have it digitally now, because it was taken out of the theater because the theaters are closed. And that's going to be... if it's not already up by the time this is uploaded, we're going to have a commentary on Onward as well. So that's going to be fun. Mm-hmm. And yeah, like, talk about side characters. I love these guys.
Yeah.
They're so underrated.
when they're running away from the cops and he's like, I can't go back to jail.
Yeah. These guys are, they're not, they're, what's the word? You don't want to, I guess you don't want to say adorable because that might be insulting. But they're lovable, right?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh, this part is so funny.
Yeah. And then this is about to happen right here. Do you know who does the voice of Squishy?
I don't.
I feel like I've heard that voice other places before.
Let's see. I'm doing an initiation.
This is my mom's house. And then she's... Just give it up, man. I would have given up a long time ago. That's the hat you want?
Yeah.
I've never seen it. I mean, available for purchase.
Yeah.
Maybe I've just missed it.
It's recent. Like, it came out, I think, last year. Or at least last year was the first time that I saw it.
Really?
Yeah.
Was it like a Disney store or a Disney
No,
park?
a Disneyland.
Oh.
Yeah. Squishy. Peter Son.
What do you mean, Peter Song?
That's the person who does the voice for Squishy, which I believe he is the one that directed Ratatouille? No, not Ratatouille, sorry. The Good Dinosaur? Yeah.
Wait a minute, I didn't hear that. What about Peter Song?
He does the voice for Squishy, and he is the one that directed The Good Dinosaur.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I would never have guessed it.
Yeah. Scare games.
That, okay. Yeah.
It's funny how this is, like, bigger than, like, football games and stuff.
The what games?
Like football games, like any sports games.
Well, this is their equivalent to it, right? I guess they do have football.
Yeah, they do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, for those listening, I mean, if you know American culture, football is kind of like the thing, right? American football.
Yeah.
To be clear, not like traditional football, which is soccer. Oh my god. You know, one of the thoughts I had is like, man, so what happens to the Scare School after the events of Monsters, Inc.?
Oh. Well, I assume they keep going, no? What do you mean?
Well, since Monsters, Inc., at the end of Monsters, Inc.,
after that,
scaring is replaced with laughter, you know?
Yeah.
Laughter is the more potent energy, for the monster universe, it looks like. So I'm going to assume that the Scare School became the play school? I don't know.
Yeah. No, well, the thing that I thought about was how, I don't know, like, it's kind of weird because they're supposed to be, like, monsters, yet they're supposed to be funny now, so it's a whole complete, like, change of who they are.
Yeah.
I would not have gone in there if it was pitch black.
Oh, no. No. I would have,
That's Aubrey Plaza, I think. Yeah.
Really?
I
did not
so.
know that.
I want to touch him.
Yeah, that looks like it fucking hurts. Like bad.
Yeah. The music score here is really good too.
Mm-hmm. Cheese and cracker. Mm-mm. It is a little sad, although I do understand it. That this entire sequence, like Mike was so under the impression that, because they don't know here that their whole team has to cross with you, in order to like place in whatever position that you go into or that you finish in.
Yeah.
And like it's really just like Mike and Sully just go for it. Don't even they just leave the rest of them in the dust, unfortunately. Yeah. Jaws Theta Chi?
Mm-hmm. I can't remember, I just know the abbreviations, but it's Roar, Omega Roar, the Jocks one, I forgot.
Well, the one that gets disqualified right here, right?
Yeah. The Jocks.
Which is the one that get the is that the name Jocks?
JOX.
I thought you were saying like
the
athlete jocks. Okay. Okay, that makes much more sense.
Jaws Theta Chi. She's so mean to him. And, like, he didn't even, like, do anything.
Yeah, he just... he had... God forbid he tried to get an education, you know? I mean, but, you know, there are people like that. Yeah. And they are like how they are, and, they're so pathetic. Yeah. But not with me. Like, it's as if, like, for that character of art, they just, like, all right, let's just come up with the weirdest shit we can, and that'll be all of his lines. Yeah, I have an extra toe, but not with me. Like, okay.
They should have done a short with them.
Yeah, I feel like, well, didn't they had Monster Party?
Yeah, they have that one. But, like, I don't know, like, a day with, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's why you have Disney Plus, right?
Yeah.
That's one of the advantages of having that, which, by the way, we're using Disney Plus right now to watch this movie. But it's one of the advantages of having that. Oh, God, the fucking ladybug. Oh, my God. I'm sorry. This movie's funny. I don't know. I can never be mad at this movie. Especially when I compare it to, like, other, like, Pixar sequels that
try to be funny.
Well, I think, you know, on a fundamental level, I feel like that this movie does add more to the story of Mike and Sully. And I think that it establishes its existence. I mean, I know many others will disagree strongly with that. But when you compare this to something, I'm not even going to name it, but you know what I'm talking about. It's just, there's actual story with character here, as we've discussed. Yeah, this part right here is, oh God, they really got that old librarian lady down. What is that? Like,
she's like a snail, but like a huge snail.
Quiet. Yeah. And this is just, I mean, it's stupid, but like, yeah. Oh no.
She's like the teacher in Matilda, the mean principal.
Yeah. Yeah. That poor guy was just trying to leave. He just gets thrown out the fucking roof. I mean, damn. Why would you, at that point, why the fuck would you even bother going there? I mean, like, what? Fuck it. Slow and steady. Oh my god. Oh my god. Damn, girl, get some contacts. I mean, seriously.
And I like how she looks away without her glasses.
Yeah.
That she needs. Jesus.
Ow. Oh yeah, they're a dance major. I forget. Or one of them is a dance major. That's. Oh yeah, he's like a new age philosophy major. Yeah, they got their damn majors so right with their personalities. Oh, that sucks. Squishy, the MVP of this sequence.
Misdirection. Eeks.
The eeks.
Okay.
Yeah, you're okay.
We're okay. I love them.
Yeah.
I like how they live so far away from school.
Oh yeah, their house.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's actually not even.
It's not like not on
clear how far away it is. You know, like it's. Yeah, it's part of their naivete, but they really should have seen that coming. What's going to happen right now? Like,
I wouldn't have gone.
No, I mean, like, gee, I wonder why they'd want us to go to like a party. Like, they hate us. Why the fuck would we go? And it's like, I don't know. You just got to think about it for more than 2 seconds, right? Like, oh wait. I love this song, by the way.
I do too. Oh my goodness.
Like, I don't even like it's supposed to like be inspired by like electronic dance music. I don't care for it all that much, but it is like the thing right now, especially among college kids. So yeah. And I love how they like the different like clicks, how they dance. Like,
yeah,
oh my
god,
here,
I love just, it. I love it. That's me,
right? Oh my god! Oh Jesus! I'm sorry, guys. I was just watching the movie. It's fun. Yeah, this part always made me laugh.
This is where we got the first Soleil dance for Paint the Night.
The what dance?
His dance for Paint the Night. When Soleil comes
he does
out,
this in the show?
Yeah. This.
Oh. Okay. I guess that makes sense. Paint the Night. Why did it go away?
'Cause they hate us.
Where did it go?
Nowhere.
It just stopped?
I
That's
saw a tweet that people were like, the whole like everybody them. They put everybody. We want Paint the Night. Bring Paint the Night back. And then at the bottom they put Disneyland. Did someone say Main Street Electrical Parade? Because they keep bringing that one back. Oh, they're so mean to them.
Of the scare games. Yeah, it's just the thing here. It's like, and I don't know, like, I can't think of many. I know Van Wilder is like the poster boy for like the college movie, right? Or like the the college party movie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's just like, I guess you could say that they're like, this is like a PG-13 version of it. Like, whatever. It's like, I feel like the characters here and the actual arcs that happen in this, I think are meaningful and quality.
Than any college movie.
Quality, I'll tell you that, because the college movie genre is not necessarily known for its quality. So I don't know. This is like the only one that I keep going back to because I actually give a damn about the characters. That isn't to say that they can't be good. Like but I just can't think of any ones right now that I. And this one's not even, I guess, does She's the Man count as a college movie?
Oh, I don't know. I never liked that movie.
Well, I liked it, and a lot of people did like it, but I mean, I don't know if it did count. It was Amanda Bynes and Channing Tatum, right?
Mm-hmm. But I thought she was pretending to be somebody, so was she actually supposed to go to college, or was she still in high school?
It takes place in college, I think.
Oh, I have no idea.
What other ones come to mind?
College movies.
I know, right? It's like, well, I gotta think to even remember any of them.
What's that one? The one where she's like a Playboy model or whatever, and then she gets kicked out. House Bunny.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
The one with, oh my god, what's her name? Where she's like a Playboy model and then she gets kicked out and then she goes into a sorority house, but like she's not actually in college and she becomes like their house mother. And it's kind of like this story, but like not as good. With Anna Faris? Anna Faris? No?
No.
There is... I don't know. I don't even know if this is college. I don't even think this movie takes place in college. But another one that comes to mind is, I don't know if you've seen it. It's like an 80s movie. The Last American Virgin. But I don't think that takes place in college. No? Okay.
No, none of this is ringing a bell. None of this.
I like can't think of any right now.
Yeah.
Oh, there's that other one with Amanda Bynes, where it's like Snow White, but she goes to college, and it's like modern day. No, okay.
I don't know what the fuck. No. So this right here, and of course they bring back the score from the first movie, and of course the location from the first movie. I guess this would be considered by a lot of people as like needless fan service or whatever, but it's actually a monumental moment in the movie. Especially because like this is like what happens here. This is the first time you actually get like a genuine Mike and Sully moment where they actually like begin to kind of like each other.
Uh-huh. But it's not that. Like, it brings confidence to Uzma Kappa and...
Right. This is where they begin to solidify their unit, right?
Yeah.
Their team, anyway.
Nothing.
Yeah, in this conversation that Mike and Sully have, where they both find out that they have a shared interest, or I guess in what's it called, card collecting of these famous scarers. That's actually inspiring, right there.
Yeah. No, when he looks at that one, oh.
Yeah, this right here. To me, this sequence right here, I mean, this discussion that Mike and Sully have right here, I think that encapsulates the whole college experience, is that while there's a lot of flash and a lot of, purpose and knowledge and education, part of that all comes, to me anyway, the core of it is exposing yourself to, at this point, Mike and Sully are so completely different, and they clash for most of it. But in this instance, they have like a breakthrough where they realize that for all the differences that they have, there is something that they both have in common. And like, I feel like
they have the same goals in the end.
That's right. Yeah, but I think as far as like a college thing, I mean, I feel if more people, a lot of the discrimination I feel and blatant racism that we see in our world today, I think just comes from a lack of understanding and a refusal to understand those that are different from you. And I think the point of it is, for no matter how different anybody can be, you still might find something that you can have in common with it, you know?
Yeah.
And I think that whole what I forget what the word is, and I've said so many words at this point that I forget. But that's kind of, to me, the point of college. You know, the educational experience is not just going to a classroom, picking up a book, and like taking a test.
Yeah.
It's learning how to be who you are and be who you are, and with those who are different than you. It's about community. It's about collaboration. Yeah. And I just wish that more people, and oftentimes I find that people who never left where they're from, those are the ones that tend to have a misunderstanding of what real people outside what their whole world are. I mean, you didn't go to college, but you left your hometown anyway. But what was your hometown? It was
San Diego.
Oh, okay.
But
your home community.
Yeah, like I left when I was 7, but like I grew up in the valley.
Right. So this sequence right here, is Boo in this sequence or not? Because I never saw her, and people I think were saying that she was in this part of the movie.
Maybe
is she in the movie at all?
I've never seen her.
I never. No, me neither. Like, if there was like a Boo Easter egg, I feel it'd be much more overt. You know, like you'd see it like right in your face. But I haven't seen that.
Who's my kappa?
Yeah, I don't know, this might have the least amount of Easter eggs in any Pixar movie, just because it came out at a weird time where there was no Pixar movie for the next year. I mean, there was, but it was moved because there was behind the scenes issues. That was, I think, The Good Dinosaur.
Oh, yeah.
The whole movie was scrapped, and like they had to begin all over again.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I do want to take some time to clear something up. Like, I don't hate the movie. I just don't care about it. Like, the parts where I do care about Arlo and Spot are like, yeah, the scenes that make everyone cry. But like, to me, that's kind of like where the movie begins and ends.
Yeah.
Aside from like the groundbreaking, and I think it will be known as like the groundbreaking animation, like that was just stunning. I mean, honestly, to me, that's the whole reason to watch the movie, is just to watch it. And like, oh God, I think it might still be one of the best looking animated movies ever. But like, that was at a point where it, like, Good Dinosaur just like clicked to where like it's so photorealistic. The animation there.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think that movie was kind of just made to be made because they had to.
But yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, but it was an original movie, right? And like, to me, like, it's nowhere near the the best, or even I think the lower tier of original movies from Pixar. It's like this whole idea to me that the Pixar sequels are inherently inferior to the originals just because it's a sequel and just because it's original. I've always just, recoiled at that kind of notion. To me, I think a movie is a movie and you got to judge it on what it does by its own. And just because a sequel is a sequel doesn't mean that it automatically just falls below any original. Mm-hmm. And the movies that I think, like, I know we disagree on like Brave or whatever, but like I feel like that one is just not as good as this movie, for example.
Yeah.
So then again, there are sequels that I don't think do anything interesting as far as justifying its reason to exist. And I think the primary, like, it was surprising because we don't talk about it as often. And I know that when it came out in 2018, Incredibles 2, most of us were just like, okay. But like, and again, the Pixar ranked has already been uploaded at this point. But when I was thinking, I mean, clearly Cars 2 is like everybody's like bottom when you average out the lists, mm-hmm. right? But if you were to aggregate those lists down, Incredibles 2 would be like right above Cars 2.
Yeah.
And like that's not something I think is common, but I think that it was pretty common. I mean, amongst most crowds, I feel, because I think that movie was much more well received than. I'll tell you this: I think the community, the Disney fan community, I feel that Incredibles 2 got like 10 times the amount of love that Monsters University, Finding Dory, Cars 3. And Toy Story 4 got combined.
Yeah, it definitely
is that an
did.
exaggeration, or am I right with that?
No, like, it's right. Like, I honestly, I don't remember ever watching a trailer for this movie.
MU?
Yeah.
Huh. What were you doing?
I don't know.
Because you're a big Monsters person.
I know.
It's like, how do you not? Like, did you see? All right. So other movies that came out, like other Disney fare that came out in 2013 was Saving Mr. Banks and Frozen, Iron Man 3. Did you watch Thor: The Dark World? Did you watch those movies when they came out that year?
Yeah.
But not this one.
No. I don't remember like seeing anything for this movie. I think the first time that I saw that was the first year I went to D23. I think the first time I ever heard about that movie was at D23. And I don't even know if it had already come out. That was the year Frozen came out.
Right. Yeah.
No, nothing.
Yeah. That's crazy. No, but like I think you and I both agree that like Incredibles 2 for whatever reason got like so much love. Compared to the other, and honestly, all of those movies I just mentioned, I think are, at least to me, I much prefer to Incredibles 2. Most of those, anyway. Like, I don't know, like, the one that really surprised me in terms of how much I liked it more was Cars 3 when I saw it again.
Mm-hmm. Oh my god, I remember watching that movie. I thought it was so good. I was bawling.
Yeah.
He's so mean.
Yeah. Unleash the beast, Don.
Alrighty.
Yeah, but I think one of the wonderful, I think, messages that's being said all the way throughout the movie is, from the beginning to where what we're seeing right now is, Sully is talented, but he's lazy, unrefined, and clumsy, and there's something I think to be said for what they continuously like. What we're seeing right now, Don is just not a scary person, but look what he just did right now, what he's about to do. And like, yeah, I mean,
he's smart.
Yeah, it's more than in some ways it might, I don't know, it might just be, I don't know, like another message here is like it doesn't a talent alone is just not like it's not going to get you somewhere. And it's just natural that people who, let's say, want the same thing you are or have what you have to, try twice as hard to do that. Like, I know one of the things that Kyle has always like said to me is how well, he said it himself, right? He says to me that he hates, well, not hates, but he's jealous of the fact that and this is his words. Don't take that I'm taking him out of context. This is what he said to me. Like he just he's always had a hard time with communication, and like the words that he says are not necessarily what he's trying to convey or communicate to others. And there have been countless occasions, this is years ago, where people would be around for meetings of some sort for this show or other stuff or the other projects, and people would just like not understand what it is that Kyle was really saying. And so he's always said to me, like, I wish that I could talk like you, because you know how to, really communicate and explain things down well. And it's like, yeah, but like at the same time, I always remind him, well, look how hard you've worked for it, and look how much you've improved to where it's like, the improvement from 5 years ago is like day and night, I feel, from Kyle, in terms of how he communicates, how he talks and everything. And then also, as far as like, from my perspective, I wasn't born with this. And I don't feel like I'm just like naturally like have this ability to like, I guess, speak well. Like I didn't really like acquire, I don't know. People always tell me that, that I'm well spoken and that I sound older because of how I guess, I don't know if it's the words I use or how I talk or whatever. I don't know what it is, but I've always gotten that. But I didn't start getting that until I was junior or senior in high school. Like I didn't like always have like I guess a personality of sorts. Like I was very reserved, very quiet, and in elementary school and everything. So yeah, don't know why I just went on that tangent, but there's that. I
no,
guess
I mean it makes sense. It's like it's also like, I mean you don't really get that here, because I don't think that Mike is like jealous of Sully and that he like has it type of thing. But it does bring up the conversation of like somebody being jealous, just
naturally talented at something, and somebody else being jealous of that person.
And it's like, it shouldn't be that way. Like, if you want to do something, like, just work hard for it, practice, for as long as it takes. If you really want it, you might not get there, as this movie says, but it's worth the try if it's something important to you.
Yeah. This is an interesting thing. When you first saw this movie, what we just saw right now, where Mike basically just like won and won big, did you buy it? Or were you like questioning what's going on here when you first saw this movie?
No, I didn't buy it.
Okay. Because I did. I was like, oh, okay, this is, all right, he did it. Okay. I don't know. I mean, because it was like, oh, okay, this is where it wraps up. This is fun. But then no, that's not how it. Yeah. Because like, I guess maybe I wanted to believe it because I was just so invested with Mike and wanting him to win, and to succeed at that. But I guess, and I guess in the moment I just forgot that, oh, well, Monsters Inc. happens and he's not a scarer, so yeah. Oh, God, and this right here where he's in disbelief, but he's just so happy that he did like the impossible. Like he did it. He finally did it. And then it just comes crashing down.
Oh.
Spectacularly. At what point did you suspect Sully was behind this?
Well, when he talked to the dean.
Mike?
No, the dean.
Oh, well, I mean, doesn't he just say right here that he did it? Oh, you mean before?
Yeah.
Before the scare games, he talked to Hardscrabble, yeah.
When she tells him, do you think he's scary? Right here, what he tells him, my heart breaks. Sad.
And then the rest of them, like this is just sad too, because they
worked hard.
Yeah, and then
and then we missed the line where, what does he say? I forgot what this guy says, and then Mike says, "But if we win, they'll never let you forget it." That's a good line. And then the short guy, he's like, "That's a good point."
yeah. And I love how they, even after they lost, they just so like they try to weasel back in. They try to like I don't know, slither back to Sully.
Mm-hmm.
And like, oh, okay, well, you can come back with us. Okay.
No, thank you.
No.
Oh, well, I guess we do see him actually putting it to the test right here. But at the same time, not really, because it's kind of a faulty door.
Well, yes and no, but I feel maybe I lean towards this is his chance.
Uh-huh.
And he can't scare a bunch of little girls.
Yeah.
And what kind of monster can't do that? So I feel like this is kind of like the ultimate like humiliation for him, right?
Yeah.
Is he's putting all of his skills to the test here on real kids, and she laughs at him. And they all, and then which I don't know. I feel like if this was real life, they would be running away scared, though, right? Like, how would you react if you saw this thing? I mean, how old are these girls supposed to be?
Maybe like 8, 7. Oh.
Yeah. I want to touch it. It's so cute. Yeah. I love this bit right here Um, where she just like arrests them or arrest him. It reminds me of in A Bug's Life, where the circus bugs come back to distract Hopper, and Hopper was like,
"Oh yeah,
not even squish them, like not even like 5 words." He's like squish them, like, oh shit. Which also, I really, really do like A Bug's Life. And that movie gets so crapped on. So, well, I guess crapped is not the word. It gets forgotten about entirely.
It does. And like, I feel like we did kind of put it. Well, no, it was kind of in the middle of everybody's list, but like, it doesn't mean that we don't like it.
Yeah. It's hard, you know? Because when you have that many movies and like, I mean, but it also had its own land, right? And then, well, not anymore. Yeah, this is like pretty sad. Yeah.
Not. Ah.
Yeah, it's yeah.
Sad.
I don't know what it is. Like, I mean, I connect with these guys much more in this than the other movie.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe, I don't know. Are we crazy?
It's just more, I don't know, just the
relatable?
Yeah. And like, it's very real. I love how they turned it into like a what is it? Is it like Friday the 13th or Jason movie horror film?
Freddy Krueger?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch those movies.
No, thank you. No. I'm sure if the Death of Hope were here, he would tell you. But, no, I don't have a vast knowledge of that. Ooh. And then this right here does, this is why, Mike and Sully really just need each other, because I think the perfect issue with their situation is, and we see it in Monsters Inc., but like, this is like, they really do need each other, because they kind of complete their their faults.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And it shows, I think, Mike's worth in all of this. It's like, and I don't know, in Monsters Inc.
You don't really see that.
No, like when I was watching it again recently, I never really got the impression that Sully needed Mike around. You know, but here you do.
And I mean, I guess they like didn't know that they were gonna do this, or maybe they did. I don't know, but like,
well, they're also older than, right? So it's like,
yeah, but you
Sully's
also,
much more mature.
Yeah, but you also don't see like everybody still thinks that it's just Sully. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like in the beginning of the movie, you see Mike being like, "No, we gotta train. Like we gotta do this type of thing." And I don't know.
Well, yeah, you're right. You're right, because like in Monsters Inc., like everyone just ignores Mike, and like Sully is the rock star. But I guess you could say that Mike just kind of like learned to block that out. I don't know. Like it just doesn't affect him anymore.
Yeah, or maybe he just doesn't need validation.
There's that. Yeah, and he's just genuinely happy for his friend. You know? But then the tables turn. This is great right here. The tables turn entirely toward the end of the movie, where like Mike ends up switching places with Sully.
Yeah, that's true.
So really, when you think about it, Mike does, in a sense, get to live his dream in the end. Yeah. But it's just not
the way he thought.
What anyone could have expected or planned for.
It's not what was planned.
Right. And honestly, to this day, and I don't know, maybe it's just because I prefer this one than to Monsters Inc. I've never done like a back-to-back viewing of University and then Incorporated. I don't know about you.
I've never done that either.
Yeah, I never felt the need to. These guys. Oh, calm down. Complaining about the doors.
It didn't even work.
Yeah. Right?
It was a faulty door.
Yeah.
Oh, I love this part.
Yeah. This is this scene, got me not strangely, but just surprisingly emotional when I saw it the last time. Because, what I didn't have the first time I watched this movie was the experience of having roommates and having kind of a family unit like that. And at least with my first set of roommates, Alvin, Matt, Josh, and Alex, what I will always be thankful for was just how we really just were there for each other and genuinely liked each other.
Mm-hmm.
And we were all like different types. We had like a really eclectic, just like mix of people. We definitely had differences as well as commonality between us. But I'd be lying if I said that I don't miss them to this day. I miss just being around them.
Mm-hmm.
And like I had roommates of all kinds afterwards, some better than others, but I never had anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
That first year where like we kind of just like were a family unit in a way. We went to the movies together. We went to dinners. We went to things, parties. Like it was a special moment for me. And then seeing them just like say goodbye just made me just feel so nostalgic about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's good though, because I've heard at least the people that I know, usually their first year of roommates is like
the worst.
The actual worst. Like like somebody that I know, one of their roommates OD'd.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, like
oh,
that bad.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Nothing that bad for no, honestly, nothing. Like we had, I'm not going to say didn't have any issues. There definitely, and even in the best situations, you are going to have personality clashes. That's just natural.
Mm-hmm.
Kyle and I mean, especially the first few years when we were, friends, I think the fights didn't really happen until, strangely enough, we started doing Barely News Crew and Red Spotlight. That's when fights began to happen and happen more like frequently. But then also, I never would have expected, and maybe he never would have expected either, and no one around us would have expected us to be friends because we're just so... I don't know, it feels weird saying that we're different people because we have a lot of really the same interests, the same taste in a lot of movies.
I think our personalities are just different.
The personalities are different, right? Yeah. One of the funniest things I remember in high school, in senior year, I think it was one of our friends from drama class. It was me and Kyle and our good friend Nettie Valdez. We were walking into the band room, and somebody was commenting that the three of us, because we were walking in a straight line-ish or whatever, and somebody said, like, you guys have, all three of you have distinct ways that you walk. It was hilarious. Like, oh, that's right. Like, because Kyle walks a certain way, Nettie walks a really unique way, as do I. So it's like, oh, okay. Yeah. So, but I don't really have horror stories when it comes to roommates in that regard. I mean, yeah, but so that was Monsters University, and I love this this credit sequence here as we kind of like bridge the way into Monsters Inc. And might I say, I just love the whole idea of Mike and Sully just starting off at the bottom and just being company guys, and then they work their way to. I mean, I just wish that story was real in today's America more often than it's not. But I still appreciate the sentiment that they got to where they were without a college degree, but unfortunately, I mean, that's how it used to be, but it's not how it is now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you've done pretty good for yourself with no degree, right? So maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe that's your journey in the company that you're working at right now.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
I mean, I'm trying to get one.
Of course. See. And I mean, it's only been like 5-6 years since high school. It's like, to me, I've never placed any kind of unrealistic timeline on anybody. Everybody will get whatever they're going to get in their own time.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I see that now. Obviously, like, when you're freshly out of high school and, like, all of your friends went to college and your family and stuff, like, doesn't feel that way at all. But
yeah,
I mean, now it's like I am at least happy with where I am now.
Yeah. I mean, the whole coronavirus notwithstanding, right?
Yeah, now, but...
Right, but like, yeah. Yeah, and to me, it's like, I went through the whole ordeal. We're going to talk to the credits here, but I mean, I did the community college thing. I transferred to a 4-year university. I got the associates. I got the bachelor's. After the bachelor's, I kind of had no idea what I was going to do. An old professor of mine suggested that I should apply to a private journalism school in DC, and I was like, okay, fuck it, let's just do it. Never thought that'd actually get me in. They wanted me, and I was like, oh shit, now I gotta go. Which that was an experience all in and of itself, but at the end of it, I got a master's degree, a bachelor's degree, and an associate's degree in a matter of 5 years, which is not something I planned on, not something I expected, and in most cases, that's just not heard of, right? Mm-hmm. In that short amount of time to get those 3. But again, it's like, that was never a guarantee I was going to get anything. That was never, I mean, I never considered it to be such a, a guarantee like that. Mm-hmm. And I mean, reality being what it was, I moved back home, and, there was a long period of time where I just did nothing. I tried applying to places for that particular profession, but it wasn't working out. So in the meantime, I got some credentials to the point where I could, one of the things that you could do with the degrees that I had was to substitute teach. Mm-hmm. And it's not something that I ever looked forward to doing. And the truth is, well, it's not an easy job by any means, and you're really, trying to take care of a 3-ring circus. I would be lying if I didn't find a kind of enjoyment as an engaging, fulfilling part about it that, like getting up to go sub a class gave a sense of fulfillment that I wasn't getting when I just was doing nothing, mm-hmm. And it kind of revived me in a way where, like, I felt, okay, I have a job of sorts. I was pretty regular. I had like 4 days a week. And I went to it, and it's not at all what I prepared to go to school for, but like, I don't know, I might actually just get a credential and teach. Like, that could be something. Mm-hmm. I mean,
I could see you as like a college professor or something.
That's what I want to do.
Yeah.
If I had like my choice, like, I'd love to do college. Oh God, you just imagine me like
I can. Being that's the thing.
Yeah, a poli-sci professor. Like, honestly, like, fuck the lesson plans. It would be just me ranting. Yeah. The whole time. I would go on these massive tangents.
I can't imagine you where you're at now because of just how you are, and you're very open and very like, but at the same time you're like grumpy, but like in a good way. And so I just see you like in college being like,
well, that's why I told you on the chat I sent over a clip of Hank from Finding Dory, because in the end of the movie he's subbing the class for Mr. Ray. Mm-hmm. And just like, yeah, that's me. With it. The strangest thing about it is because I've subbed at this point, there are certain classes that I've gone back to sub. The kids, the 5th grade classes, right? Some older, some younger, but like it felt good to hear from them specifically. Behind their teacher's back, of course, like, you're our favorite sub or whatever. And it was like, me, a decrepit, grumpy old man who hates the sight of children, and they love me. Okay. Like, I don't know. Weirdest thing ever. Like, I never thought I would willingly go into a fifth, fourth, third, second grade high, like junior high classes, and be a literal punching bag in some cases. But it's what I'm doing now. I mean, at least it was until, of course, the school year was canceled because, again, brought to you by coronavirus. Yeah, it's not at all what I went to school for, but I think to me the way I see things, and a lot of what was discussed in the movie is, it almost really doesn't matter. It's like you learn things every day that you never would have expected, and even if you don't necessarily use the stuff that you went to school for the purpose that you thought you would be using it for, doesn't erase those years and make them like irrelevant or like a waste of time. Like, and I don't consider it that. And like, I, like you, again, until coronavirus, was at a place where like, yeah, I'm happy where I'm at right now, which is like not something I thought I'd say.
Yeah.
So,
and like, even if like, well, I don't know, maybe it's in some cases, like if you want to do something and you change your mind because, you think you can't do it or it's too hard, I say still go for it. Like, even if it's not like the main thing, like there's so much like information out there now that you can like learn about it yourself, like do it yourself type of thing, I don't know. Like with me, like I ever since I got out of high school, I wanted to do like costume design or something with like design. Right. And now I'm doing like marketing. Which I mean, it kind of relates in some ways. But like I still want to do fashion design and like incorporate that somehow to like what I want to do. I don't know. I say, even if you don't think you're good enough, just try it.
Doesn't hurt to try anything, and I feel like I just wish that people would be more open to it, and the reality is many people are just not because of the financial realities of today's world. Which this is one of those instances where I can go on a huge rant if I were doing a class on this, but I won't because, I mean, we're done with this. So this is the audio commentary for Monsters University, which weirdly turned into a discussion about our lives.
Because that's what this movie does. Because it's so good.
Let me see. Anything else, Moreno, before we sign off?
No, I think we're good.
Yeah, this was nice. I enjoy our time. I feel like Edna Mode in the Incredibles movie when she gives Helen the location of Bob, and she is like, and come back, darling, I enjoy our visits or our talks or whatever. Yeah, these have been actually pretty fun to do, these commentaries. So the next ones, as far as Fantasy Fair is concerned, we're going to be doing commentaries for, we just said it earlier, Onward, which is also directed by Dan Scanlon, who just directed the movie that we discussed right now. Frozen 2. And was there another one we discussed of doing?
Mulan?
Right, Mulan. Yeah, so keep an eye out for those coming at you. As well as, and honestly, it might even be up by the time this is dropped, but ranked shows of Disney songs, Disneyland attractions, Disney princess movies, and of course the Pixar films on Red Spotlight. Moreno is actually going to be much more prominent, it looks like, on Red Spotlight for the first time in a long time. Because she's been in, we have 2-part episodes of the top 10 movies of the decade, which I really enjoyed that conversation.
I did too. It was back fun.
To it. Yeah.
It went by really fast.
Yeah, but we still got part 2 to record, and that's going to be long. And we got audio commentaries also coming on the channel or the feed for Red Spotlight in Knives Out, which is a film all of us loved. So that'll be fun. And then fun in a different way, because no one really liked it. Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
Yay.
Oh God, it'll be fun to do that.
Yeah.
When was the last time? Oh my God, I think what's funny. I think the last time we did an audio commentary with like the main 4 was The Force Awakens back in 2016.
Yeah.
That's insane. Which was also the last year, like that was the last year that you were like a regular part of the show. At least for Red Spotlight was concerned, because then in 2016 was like the year that we all like went our separate ways.
Mm-hmm. Separate ways, even though we went to the same place.
Yeah, isn't that funny how life works out that way? So that's going to be fun, and it'll also be a Star Wars movie, and it'll also be one that J.J. Abrams made. So it's honestly. I know I'm going long on this, but I just want to make sure I say this. I heard the first, I think, half hour of the commentary, like I think a few months back, and it's crazy, like how much our opinions have changed. Mm-hmm. So there's that. So stay on the fantasy fair, as Kyle would say, stay magical. Keep an eye out for more podcasts here and on Red Spotlight.